We're going to do a combination exercise. First of all, we're going to lengthen the glute muscle, and then we're going to contract the glute muscle. So this one is called hip drop and hip hike. So get yourself an elevated surface. It doesn't have to be as high as this Pilates box I'm standing on. Maybe about 4 inches is all you need. And then get close to a wall or have a cabinet or countertop that you can hold on to just for balance, and you can take that worry out of the equation. So I'm starting by standing on my right foot, and I'm going to drop my left hip down. So if you looked at me from the front view, you would see that my right hip is higher and my left hip is lower. Now while I'm in this, I want to really make sure that I'm not in an anterior tip, and I might be a little bit slightly in that. So I'm going to try to tuck my pelvis here into a little bit of a posterior tip. And what's going on is the muscle on this leg right here, that medial glute, is being lengthened as I hold this leg down into the drop. So this side of my pelvis is kind of holding on while this side of my pelvis drops. Okay, so it's an eccentric lengthening. It's a nice stretch. Okay, I'm going to turn around and do the other side. So unfortunately you get the back view. So I'm holding on, and then hopefully you can see I'm dropping and tucking my tailbone a little bit so that I'm not getting up here in these back muscles. We want to try to get the QLs that sit on top of your back to stay out. So just an eccentric lengthening, dropping that foot down and feeling a really actual stress. I'm enjoying good stretch over here on the side. And it really is working me to try to get into my pelvic tip here, posterior tip. All right. Whew. So hang in there for just about 15 seconds, 30 seconds. And then once this is able to release a little bit, we're going to start to concentrically contract it. Let me turn to the front for that one. So we'll go back to the right one. So I'm dropping this left hip, but now I'm going to create this teeter totter where my pelvis is now going like this. So I'm concentrically contracting on this side and elevating this side. Now watch that you don't do any kind of fancy rotations like this. We want to try to keep you wedged between 2 panes of glass as you do your elevation. So you may not be able to go quite as high. And we also want to keep pushing through the knuckle of that big toe as we do this. And by the way, I can feel this on my inner thighs all the way down inside my knee. So when you drop, try to get that let go feeling and then contract and come back up. If you feel yourself really gripping right here in the front, take a break. You're not getting into the right muscles, and that's okay. We'll regroup and try that one again later. Okay? So you want to feel it right here on the side and outside and inside of the thigh. I would shoot for about 10 good ones here. Ooh, really feeling it. And then flip on over, and you're going to do the other side. So maybe you can see it a little bit better here. What's going, we're dropping that hip bone down, lengthening this one. I'm finding my anterior tip, trying to stay out of these back muscles, and lifting and dropping. So getting a really nice stretch when we drop, and then hiking. And 4. Wedged between 2 panes of glass. And 2. And 1. Just let me show you one more time from the back side this rotation that you might get into, and you want to try to avoid anything like that where you're spiraling the spine and doing some crazy things to hike that hip up. So we want it to be a glide side to side rather than adding some pelvic rotation with that. All right, that's a good one.